Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Summer Premiere Open Qualifiers. My name is Rainday, or Evan Rayner. This is Nick Keogh, Hi-Rez Pretty Hair. Man, that was amazing. This is my first time seeing that one, Nick.
I feel like the theme of that is just everyone's getting solo ulted in that video.
The
Bomb King,
Androxus,
one chicken, one accursed arm, Hexafire on the one. It's like, come on, guys.
That was definitely my favorite part, the Androxus solo ult, and then the Sky comes in, kicks him away. What a beautiful piece of artwork there. We're excited to get into today's action. Of course, last week, if you were with us, EU faced off on Saturday, NA on Sunday. It's time to see round two, and we've got a lot of stuff coming up. Nick, you were there, fortunately, casting. I was on vacation. What was the competition like getting back into things?
It was crazy. Europe, for the most part, is kind of the same. 1 through 4 seeds. We're all there in the semifinals, but North America was an absolute shakedown. All kinds of new blood coming up and making it into the end.
Well, that's going to be what we have tomorrow. Today, though, and of course, now and forever, we have console. Open beta for Paladins has been released onto the Xbox and the PS4, so if you play on console, you have an opportunity to sign up and be a part of that. It's free. Again, like this game, free to play. And Nick, do you have yourself signed up on any of these yet, baby?
I have not yet.
Not yet?
I'm getting some console streams in the work, actually. I think that's the vibe. Maybe you join me a little bit here and there.
Okay.
Get it set up, get it popping here. See, I mean, it's so foreign to play on the sticks nowadays. That's right. Where I came from. That's what I grew up on. But now it's weird. I got to get back to my roots.
I mean, I didn't join the PC Master Race until a while ago.
Same.
And so, but I really get used to it now. So going back to console, it's going to be a thing. But I got my Xbox. I'm playing it on that. Make sure you download it if you've got one as well. You might be able to play some games against us. But the biggest thing is the people playing games now, they want to play against each other, just not online. They want to go somewhere called Spain. DreamHack Valencia. That's where this all leads to. The summer premiere is a qualifying portion of that to get themselves to DreamHack in the summer of 2017, and that's only a couple of months away. The competition is riveting to get there.
That's right. It's already started up, guys. You can see there in the open bracket section. We've got week 1 behind us, week 2 happening now. 2 more weeks to come before teams, the top 4, will advance to that round robin stage of competition where they're vying for those top 2 spots, trying to make it there to that summer premiere on July 13th, 14th, and 15th.
$100,000 there for this premiere. But we've also got, speaking of console, the console wars. That if you're a console member, you start that open beta today or tomorrow or whenever you want to, sooner the better, and you get yourself a team, you can compete in a 4-team, $50,000 prize pool tournament at DreamHack Valencia alongside the PC competitors. And you have 6 weeks to start qualifying for that, starting on May 20th.
That's right. That is the next weekend, guys. And the cool thing about that's going to be the top NA Xbox PS4 and the top EU Xbox PS4. So that's really cool. We'll get to see both platforms competing each other, not only for their platform pride, but for their regional pride as well.
So we're ready to take a look at what the standings are as of last week. Formerly one to be able to experience this myself, I've got to look at it on a screen and take a look at how this is. You see D69 and Burrito versus, and then 50 Shades of Snake and WSD.
That's so weird to see.
Isn't that weird?
It's going to be weird for a long time.
So, Nick, while we're, getting this set, why don't you tell us what happened? Is this the Burrito? What's going on?
So this is not the Burrito of old, as a matter of fact, guys. This is the team that used to be Wolves Esports. They have been in the top 4, floating around that sort of area for a long time, but now they have been picked up by that Burrito organization, not to be confused with the 50 Shades of Snake team there on the lower side of the bracket. That is the Burrito roster of old. They have now moved on, and apart from that organization, Burrito Esports is what you used to know as Wolves Esports.
So, last week, looking at all of this, Nick, D69, despite all the name changes between Burrito with 50 Shades of Snake, D69 held supreme. They held the title. Consistency is key. What are they doing to keep themselves at the top?
I think it's just, how long they've been playing together. There is untold value in just the team synergy that you build, being comfortable with your teammates, communicating with them, and especially during these online phases. It's one thing at LAN to be able to communicate, but offline there is, there's ping involved. There's a lot of stuff. You got to have a lot of trust in your teammates, kind of know what the game plan is, know how everybody likes to play, and that's just something D69 will always have going for them if they stay together.
Well, as we get close to heading into the champion draft, it is going to be very, very important for them to keep not only that consistency, but maybe keep a little bit of an element of surprise as well. Teams have the opportunity to see you do the same thing over and over again, albeit successfully, but to be able to build strategies and counters to that, especially when you're playing against high-level teams. Burrito, formerly Wolves Esports, definitely a high-level team.
D69 with the first pick here. Been Makoa for the past couple of weeks here. Bomb King changes did come through on him, but kowa still the first pick. We'll have to see, you know, given the patch notes coming through yesterday, he's getting a little bit of a change, a little bit of a buff nerf, so we'll have to see where he ends up after that.
You know, he's got, everyone's had their day in the sun, it feels like, but kowa could be
the longest. He is the oldest.
It could be setting. It could be setting a little bit, although he's still, I mean, that hook is still so impactful to a team sport like this, where communication and just 5 members doing the same thing can be so important to your team's success. But Burrito, they lock in Bomb King and Ruckus to start. Ruckus not really a first pick tank, like
he has in Europe only. In the past couple of weeks, he has actually come back up. Most of the time being taken in this phase of the draft here, responding to the kowa, you know, for whatever reason. My hypothesis is kind of that he is good hook bait.
Yes.
There's a lot of self-mitigation. He's got a lot of HP, especially early game. He can survive these hooks for a good part on his own. He just kind of fills that role, brings a lot of damage in, good consistent.
You bring up a great point there. The emitter popping that extra 3K shield when you think you got him low can buy him enough time. The repulsor field comes out, gives him 50% damage mitigation. All of a sudden, the target you thought you were getting rid of is now shooting at you with some incredible DPS. Andrew Maldamba locked inside for D69. Ying and Fernando. Fernando definitely making his place known in this meta in EU lately. Is getting taken away from Burrito, and D69 have a final pick here.
Be the Shaolin shield shredding extraordinaire here for D69 Drogos and Shaolin. Very dangerous. They're looking like they're getting kind of everything that they want right now, which is a little bit scary, but Burrito looking pretty comfortable as well. Cassie, another one. Cassie and Fernando are 2 that have definitely come up in priority since the Masters land. Fernando, that mobility, you know, Torvald falling off. Holes filled in his shield now after the patch notes. You know, all good stuff coming towards the way of the night.
Well, you know, you've got a lot of different options and different ways to attack here in game number 1 coming up in this set number 1 in the semifinals. It will be Burrito versus D69, though a little bit of a different team composition. The names are so familiar, and we're excited to get into the action here as we take a look at the scoreboard and some of the legendaries coming out for these players. Combustible for bugzy. He's worked that well on Jogos. Recurve for Shipa, Shaolin. Ripened Gourd for Gerrah. Darkstalker for PERDO. And Half Shell for eLvenpath.
Boys in red, you know their names well. Burrito. It's going to be Accelerant for Simsiloo's Bomb King. Flux Generator for Slashwhine's Ruckus. kowa taking exaction for his Cassie. NTBees will be rocking the Aegis on his Fernando. Sleeppyy taking Focusing Lens here. 2 cauterizes and a record. Make it 3 cauterizes for the way of Burrito. D69 still making a couple of decisions here so far. 2 Cauts, 1 Chronos, and a Wrecker for Shipa, a Wrecker for bugzy as well. I do not expect these shields to last long on Burrito.
Simsiloo and kowa are going to have to take care of bugzy very quickly. They're really the only 2 that can do it aside from Ruckus, but that Fire Spit with Combustible's already going to hit 1 big time in the back, and that's going to force Ying under some pressure. Fernando getting juggled up and down like a volleyball. Stays on the point, though, at 27% now for Burrito.
Underrated that knockback there. Long-range Fire Spit's going to connect onto 2, putting a lot of damage into the back line. So many members low. If this connects, it's going to probably draw First Blood. First Blood will go the way of PERDO.
Unbelievable stuff here. They have to deal with bugzy because he is running riot on their team in the back line. PERDO with a couple of great dashes himself. Loving to stick by this left corridor, and eLvenpath finishes off 1. D69 staying aggressive like they love to do.
Reversal from downtown. And the main concern I have here is, you know, you see bugzy Fire Spit after Fire Spit after Fire Spit. I'm taking a look at Burrito's composition. I don't know who's going to come back to hunt this dragon down. If bugzy just sits in the backline and doesn't put himself out, it's going to be very difficult for Burrito to try and pull him out of position.
Maybe the Bomb King of old. Maybe if kowa, with those kind of fast projectile-like, you know, very projectile, almost hit scan-like ability to shoot those arrows, could deal with bugzy, put him under pressure, but finishing off the kill is what's going to be hard, and they've got to break through the front line of eLvenpath, who is, again, first in front for his team.
Just no flank presence here. You can see PERDO up there on the Raptors, forcing Bomb King off the high ground. Just wants District 69 to be able to control everything that they want in this map. Still up on the high ground. The high ground control is very invaluable. 2 kills already come off the back of that. kowa and Simsiloo, while being chased on the back foot from the high ground, have now fallen. The tanks are left all alone here. No damage to back them up. Just the healer here, Sleeppyy, trying to keep everyone alive, and he just can't do it.
Bugzy with the Fire Spit's gonna hit 1, knock him over. Cassie into the wall, and back to base for you. She goes down. Bugzy still with another Fire Spit. He's gonna get the damage and just keep him in base. Stay in your room, says the Dragon player from D69, and they will take a 2-0 lead from Burrito Esports.
Wolves, to me, anchored a lot around Simsiloo. He's kind of one of the older guys, I think, in this scene, but he's known for some less than common picks. You know, the Pips, the Grovers are kind of his staples that I know him and love him for. And you know, Burrito, they took the draft that looks like, you know, the right draft on paper. But at the end of the day, sometimes these guys will play better with, you know, what is agreed to be maybe a B-tier draft or whatever, but they are just so good at the characters. When I look at D69's draft, it just looks like they got everything they want.
Yeah.
Shipa Shaolin, bugzy Strogos, gerrah's Maldamba, eLven's Makoa, PERDO's Androxus. It's like, where is the weak point in that lineup? Where I see Burrito, Simsiloo's not really on a comfort pick. Slashwhine, you know, I don't really see him on a ruckus too often. It's just, I'd love to see these guys on these more comfortable picks.
It's a trap we see lower level teams fall into when playing against the top competitors, trying to take away things or draft against their draft, and they end up giving them everything they want. But PERDO now the one under pressure, using Darkstalker very well. Those charges are resetting, but bugzy, he's looking for Cassie, can't find it. Can he win this duel? He shouldn't be able to, but no!
Okay.
Kowa goes down, and bugzy steals the day yet again, and the two tanks are forced back.
Fire Spit comes through, and yeah, the double tanks on this map, it is relatively open. Stone Keep is a map where we see Androxus succeed a lot of times just because the big open skybox, a lot of angles to take as well, and double tank is, I associate that more with Jaguar Falls, closed in stuff. You know, this is a map where, you know, the frags are important, the high ground control is important. There is so much room to just rain down on these tanks on the point. You really need to win the fight around the point before you get and step on it.
And that's what we saw Wolves do successfully last week. They took a point by taking the high ground and being very, very patient. 81% though could give Burrito Esports the opportunity to use that patience and get a capture objective. And yet again, they come through for the second time and take a point off of D69.
This feels interesting to me that District 69 ended up giving this up. They look so dominant in the fight, starting right out of the gate. Now, but these kills are starting to find their stride here. This Bomb King going to be very important. Going to be a lot of the frag potential here for this Burrito Esports because they are running with just the 2 damage options where if you look at D69, they've got the Shaolin, the Drogos, and the Andro to carry the team fight. Cassie, it's a little bit dangerous for her to try to get in and do that, but a lot of momentum with this Bomb King if they can get it up and rolling.
A minute and 56 seconds left on the clock. The push rounding the corner to about 50%, but a big play by Bugsy's going to put a lot of people low. Salvo's going to go under the ruckus and almost take him down, force the emitter. An advance not going to get him far enough away, and Simsiloo will die in the air thanks to the Godslayer. Androxus on the run, and now Burrito Esports are retreating.
Crazy what one champion can do. Well placed, well picked by D69 here. All this clumping coming up around the point with the Ying, her illusions, all those tanks. The Bomb King playing near the payload as well, just being so heavily punished right now by this Fire Spit. The anti-clump coming out from Bugzy is immense.
And D69 have so much displacement on their team. The Makoa Dredge Anchor, the Bugzy Fire Spit with the combustible legendary. They've got Shipa's Impaler Arrow. They've got the Dread Serpent from Maldamba. Almost every one of their kits has an opportunity to make Burrito Esports move where they don't want to move. And that's throwing off any type of game plan or momentum that these guys have had.
We talked about how it felt a little bit weird that Burrito ended up able to come away with that point despite, you know, losing a couple of those fights pretty handily. And this is the type of payload push that comes off the back of that. When you feel like one team should win it but ends up coming up short, then you see this full zone come out where they're barely making it out of their spawn. The payload sitting under halfway with under a minute to go. Just not a lot of whole momentum gained here. And the double tank, it's only going to get weaker as this game goes on, and the Cauterizers and the Wreckers reach that level 2, level 3 mark.
That's true, and you know, this is such a hard spot for Burrito to be in. They've got, oh man, so much damage just staring them down in the face in these small corridors, and they've got to push here. It's easier, admittedly, for D69 to sit down and defend with all of this AoE pressure that they have, and they're going to get a point just from defending this.
If we could, I would like to take a look at the damage charts here to see Bugzy. He's probably just farming out right now, and it's actually Shipa that is on top. Very quiet.
That's
hard to kind of keep track of. Cassie and Shaolin almost have that same sort of prognosis where they will be leading the damage charts, but they so silent.
You don't even know how they're doing it, and that's part of the benefits. A really good Shaolin player will not let you know that he's a really good Shaolin player. You'll just feel that 1,000. You'll feel the arrows come in. You'll get impaled and planted and say, what happened?
That's kind of the philosophy of Shaolin, right? There's 2 stealth abilities in the kit. It's a silent, it's a bow, it's a very quiet weapon. Quiet, consistent, not too flashy. You know, he is a prideful guy. At the end of the day, it's the big flashy dragon that we end up looking at a lot. All the ultimates here, all the streaks online for D69 as they do start to hit that tier 3 mark on their offensive items. PERDO and Shipa. Bugzy just about 8 credits off, or 18 credits off the mark there for his record 3 before that comes online. Burrito still have a lot of those ultimates available as well. 98% on Kowa's Scout, but not quite hitting those tier 3 marks is the big thing here. The Cauterize and the Wrecker not going to be able to quite keep up with what D69 are bringing to the table.
Who can bait out an ult the best? That's how this team fight is going to go. If gerrah can keep his Dread Serpent and they win this fight, it's almost going to be over because that is such good long-range zone and disruption for a team trying to get back onto the point. But he uses it early, so they've got to find kills. And Shipa, there he goes, he finds one. There's the Desert Haze.
Nice.
The Heat Haze comes through, but the King Bomb will take him down because there's not enough room to move. However, bugzy will follow through. He, eLvenpath, and gerrah are still alive, but 50% for Burrito.
So many more team fight winning ultimates though on D69. They've already used 3 without winning a whole lot of ground here still. Immortal and Hexafire, a deadly combination that frankly might need to come out here. There's the Immortal, popped a little bit early. Bugzy might be able to time this one out. He's gonna retain 30% of that ultimate charge. Hexafire comes out on the point and they're trying to take it back.
But it's the Fire Spits that are gonna do the deed now. Bugzy's gotta be taken down by Simsiloo or kowa. But kowa is dead. Simsiloo is looking low, 31% on the ult, so he's gonna have to do it with bombs. Although he stays alive, everyone else falls, and D69 have taken control and possibly the game here away from Burrito.
For the time being, if they do capture this payload, they will come away with game number 1, but Burrito are so very close. They need a small window. They have the comeback mechanic on their side as well, so it will take very, very little amount of time. Burrito need to come back. They're looking for it. They have all 5 members now with Simsiloo just about to respawn.
gerrah with a big stun here could set so much damage up for PERDO. He doesn't have the ultimate, but eLvenpath has the Ancient Rage, which could buy him some time. But if they're able to get them NTBees down, which they are, that could be all the time that they need. Great reversal. It's going to put Simsiloo at half health. Slashwhine goes down double for Shipa. Looking for a triple. Can't quite find it yet. PERDO up in the upper rafters, fighting the fight. And now it seems like D69 have just snowballed this enough that Burrito cannot challenge, and the first game goes to the leaders, the champs.
A little bit of a lack of frank pressure I'm seeing there. You know, gerrah sitting in the Cathedral alongside Shipa, who is just free firing there in the Cathedral, putting in hurt on these tanks. And Bomb King can sort of fill that role, but Burrito, I think I'd like to see a little bit of adjustment here. Maybe get some flank pressure. You cannot allow these D69 guys to play without any sort of pressure.
No, you're totally right, Nick. But the issue, and maybe why we're seeing some of these Makoa adjustments, is that when you have a Makoa, it almost forces a tankier lineup to be taken. Because he provides so much offensively and defensively that you feel like just a Fernando, just a Ruckus can't quite do it. So you got to build a little bit more of a tankier lineup. And if you put somebody like a Mave, a Sky, even an Eevee at times, and they get hooked, they're almost guaranteed to die. Whereas you mentioned that Ruckus, he's got some wiggle room. So I see what they were doing. It's a hard draft to play into.
Absolutely. Having no sort of hit scan pressure for bugzy on Drogos is never a good way to go. Maybe Alex bring the flank pressure and bringing the pressure to the Drogos as well. Something they could look for. Kowa, very adept on the character as well as his cast. But that's going to do it. Game number 1.
Yeah, Jaguar Falls will be where game number 2 takes place. So these teams are going to have another chance to go at it. This time, a little bit more of a concise, centralized map. A lot of the fighting takes place around the point, not necessarily the outskirts, but there can be some serious duels that are won that definitely decide the pacing and the snowball type of the match.
And this is the type of map where we kind of expect to see that double front liner because it is so tightly packed. Throw a lot of AoE healing down, things like Pit Potion, where Simsiloo could bring that to the table. Now Dombagore, they're going to be able to get kind of whatever picks they want here. Burrito going to have the first pick. This time around, NTBees likely to get his Makoa, where we see him look much more comfortable.
And this could be big, but D69, because they're so talented and experienced, truly, they know how to draft against this. Now, Bugzy loves this Drogos. They may not see a threat for Burrito to take it, but I could imagine going into the Drogos here, if not second, definitely third or fourth. But the Fernando first picked, why do you think they go for that?
It's a good question here. And D69, I think you started to hit on this a little bit. They are so good that I think they have multiple ways in their head that they know that they personally can draft around this, things that they can do that maybe other teams can't. In my opinion, Burrito is probably watching them right now, watching them draft and trying to figure out what they want. I could see D69 just trying to maybe throw him off, lead him in a wrong direction, pick some wonky stuff that only is going to work for them, and just try and take this game with the momentum on their side.
You know what could be sneaky? They're trying to take Fernando to force Burrito away from the Drogos, knowing that Fernando ult counters the Drogos ult so that Bugzy can pick that up. I wouldn't be surprised if they grab a Drogos here, and if they do, I mean, I would wager that that's what D69 really want to make sure that they have. They've been very successful in snowballing with it. But they also have to be wary. If Burrito here, they could not go point stack. Like, they could be very, very offensive.
They're staying away from it. They got the triple tank online right now. Burrito, they could go Drogos, but they already have so much damage online in the Shaolin and the Bomb King. That's a lot of punch with not a lot of flank pressure. I mean, Drogos is good against the anti-clump, but So is that Pip, the Evil Mojo. D69, frankly, I think they're doing to Burrito right now what they did to 50 Shades of Sneck in the Masters Line, just baiting them into a comp. They're all going to be picking up resilience here. This King Bomb's not going to do anything. These Grumpy Bombs, they're not going to care. The Evil Mojos are going to be popping out of them just over a second. You know, I think that's what's going on right now.
And D69 are not afraid to use resilience, an often underutilized item that provides the reduction of crowd control and the duration of crowd control by potentially 90%. If you invest into a tier 3, which would cost you only 1,200 credits total instead of the 1,800 for a typical item in this game. So starting things off, it's going to be Burrito. They've got the pressure on their shoulders to change things around. Simsiloo will be playing a Catalyst Pip, recurve Shaolin for Slashwhine. Demolition kowa.
Okay.
He must have seen some videos on a certain YouTube channel. I don't know. NTBees there playing Pluck Makoa and Focusing Lens playing Sleeppyy. We got to talk about that demolition
Absolutely.
after this.
Dropping the triple tank will be Architectonics Barrack for bugzy, Flux Generator for Ruckus on Shipa, Spirits Chosen for gerrah's Maldamba, Death Hastens for PERDO's Lex, and Aegis for eLvenpath Fernando.
And I mean, Demolition, Nick, you know, we played an actual game here that was recorded that shows the power of this legendary. What can this do?
Just completely and utterly destroying 100% of that shield's maximum HP. Dome shield, doesn't matter. Barricade, Flux Generator, any of that sort of shielding mechanic coming out is going to be destroyed by that Grumpy Bomb detonation. But gerrah, he's going to fall as the first blood, 21% on the point for D69, but with no healer, how long can they last?
This is going to be dangerous. Not sure if they're going to be able to actually outplay this type of scenario. The early pressure from kowa's Bomb King with Demolition is going to leave him weak in a few areas like mobility and damage, but it's going to leave him so strong with his presence on the point.
This is the type of thing that these teams need to do against District 69. When you get baited into resilience, you know, D69 think they have you figured out, but you punch right back with something that has never before been seen in competitive play, like a Demolition Bomb King.
And this can work on Jaguar Falls. I've experienced it. I've played it several times, and although we haven't seen it in the high-level play, look at the value that it's given Burrito right now. They are 1-0 up over D69.
They gave it up.
Captured the first point. They knew there's no way to get back. There's no sustain, Nick. They can't get past it. The shields are not lasting as it is with Wrecker.
2 minutes to push this one in. It'll be very interesting to see here. If we can take a look at the loadout here, maybe for kowa, see if he is running Countdown 4, and he is. A couple of other things there, just supplementing that sort of play style. Makoa going for the hook, not going to land. And PERDO very caught out, very far away from his tanks. Going to slide back to safety now, but that was their opportunity to find that pick.
Well, that I think is another real issue with this team composition. PERDO, when he played it last week, was so successful. And just as I speak of the devil, the lawman comes through and puts him in chains. That is PERDO's skill. He is one of the best players, if not the best. And this guy just cannot miss when he's on. But he did not have an impact in the early part of this point fight.
Or shoot through that shell shield immediately. Looking for maybe a little bit of a pop shot here, but PERDO, even at some points, will call it off. Slides back to his team, throws out the Infrasoon. Actually going to receive that healing from it. Just need to connect on that now. Days as soon as it will give you that 100 healing per shot. Minute 20. Try and find their way through this District 69 defense, but not backing up entirely. D69, when they feel they have the momentum on their side slightly, they will continue to push forward here. And Burrito, I wouldn't expect, I don't know how much are they going to invest in a Wrecker here with Demolition. It's kind of a fine line. It's like, well, that's why you're picking this legendary up.
That's right, but it's almost the full coverage, right? Why go to 98% coverage and not get 100? You can have that type of mentality, or you could say, we're fine, but it just puts a lot of pressure on a kowa to be anywhere and everywhere, and sometimes he's not. So if you don't think kowa's going to have the best game, you might take record just to be safe, since players like Shaolin, champions like Shaolin, and even Bomb King himself do really well with that item, more so than a lot of others.
44 seconds remain. D69 now on the back foot. For the time being, they are being pushed into their spawn. I don't know how much you want to credit to that. 30 seconds remain here. NTBees, they're not getting too aggressive, though. eLvenpath is the most, of course. That's kind of what we're used to, but it just seems maybe just struggling to keep this healing spread out, keep these three tanks alive. Is this Maldamba?
Slashwhine is there, getting the kill on the eLvenpath when he was low. PERDO takes down Simsiloo, which will shut down some of the healing, but not all of it. Evil Mojo is ready as well, and they cannot have all of the resilience is built up.
Another big whiff there on PERDO. He's a little bit caught out, half health in the hallway by himself. Two Bomb King missed shots are going to miss on a near still target. PERDO escapes with his life again, keeps the roster strong. That could have been Burrito's opportunity to break this defense as we head into overtime.
I love the way that eLvenpath plays that Demolition, knows the shield will go down, so just cancels it himself to get the cooldown running faster. That is a clean wipe by D69. They will take Burrito back to base as an entire unit and decide to go at this one more time. now with some more credits in their pocket.
Items starting to come through here. No resiliences just yet because we haven't seen really a lot of ultimates come out. Everything on the board for D69, everything on the board for Burrito Esports. Kind of a quiet round overall. I think both teams, you know, maybe not expecting to see the triple tank, and, you know, D69 on the same hand, not expecting to see the demolition come out. Both teams kind of being a little maybe wary right now of what either opponent is bringing into the realm.
Well, one of the great things about gerrah picking up resilience, one of the only member on D69, is that Dread Serpent. When the Bomb King goes in, he wants to get the King Bomb and have everyone stunned there. The whole team wants to follow up. If Kowa is getting feared by that Dread Serpent because gerrah pops out early, that could save his entire team.
This is good that we do see gerrah picking up the resilience too early, so if he is the focus of this crowd control, whether or not, if or not now, he'll probably not be the focus of it, but Shipa just annihilated right off the bat. Long distance Dread Serpent will connect onto 3, but gerrah, his own follow-up right now. No kills just yet.
Absolutely nothing there. Your teammate was already down. gerrah goes for more of a hopeless trying to aim for the stars, but PERDO here is just aiming for the head. Double kill. Snapshot for time, and Slashwhine could fall down as well. PERDO and eLvenpath combined to get that one. It seems like they might leave this. No, Shipa come back into the action and pick that one himself. 27 to 45% D69's favor.
And last game we talked about how it was looking a little rough for Burrito to try and have the amount of pressure they needed with just 2 members that were kind of dealing damage, able to carry team fights. And you see now D69 are able to do it with 1 member. PERDO, the only damage or flank option on this team. He is carrying the majority of this team fight damage. Granted, eLvenpath creating an immense amount of space. There's the law. It won't connect. Slashwhine delivers a longbow shot to the face.
Honestly, wouldn't have even killed him, and I think that was a beautiful thing for PERDO. He's happy that he lost that ultimate because, in fact, he gets to keep the 100% of it because it didn't go off. So he died at the perfect time, even though not necessarily always a perfect time to die in this game. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. Burrito Esports have found that any rhythm they've generated to start this game has dissipated, and D69 have taken control of the pace by a strong margin.
So PERDO is going to fall there, so this is going to answer some interesting questions for us. How do 69 move around the map now? Can they continue to pressure without him? Are they forced to just fall back and sit and wait? It looks like it is going to be that. No real progress made while waiting for PERDO, but he has now come back from spawn, now mobilizing once again, but they lose gerrah at the start of this fight. That's not a good look either.
PERDO goes on to get 1 kill, but Slashwhine will follow up and get some revenge there again, taking down Lex the Flanker twice for his team. So Burrito have to be thankful of the way Slashwhine is playing. He's really been the only counter to PERDO here, who found himself on a 12 streak just before dying twice to Shaolin.
Minute 15 seconds remaining here to try and push this payload into conversion. If not, then Burrito will tie this game up 2-2. Still sitting on a lot of ultimates. Dome Shield, the only one really used here. In this round, we did see the Dread Serpent come out, but just very slow, very quiet game thus far.
I'd like to see this Evil Mojo used a minute ago. It was up all round, and I'd love to see it used so much more frequently just to get 1 kill. Stagger him off. By the time you kill a tank and he comes back and they're ready to push again, you've already knocked 20, 25 seconds off of the map, and you're able to then move forward and keep regenerating that ultimate. Right now, he's just getting nothing for all this damage that he's doing.
Big slow, big stun there onto PERDO, but he looks like he's going to be bailed out. D60, look at them protecting Lex right now, protecting PERDO. They know he is the key to this team fight. He needs to stay alive. He needs to be there to dole out the damage, but he's already sitting at half HP. Burrito are figuring this out, and they are just focusing PERDO.
Uh-oh, and there it is. Burrito tried to finish it off with a solo. Opakoa will have nothing for his troubles. The Demolition Grumpy Bomb will destroy that, but they won't take the stun, and now PERDO sneaking up on the right-hand side like a flanker wants to do. Trying to tackle NTBees. He's got his ultimate. He could solo ult the tank and maybe get this party started.
3 seconds remain here before overtime starts. Everyone's there. The law comes out. Shell Shield timed perfectly to negate it, but so many members of Burrito stuck off the top. Simsiloo's aggression will not pan out. Sleeppyy will Dimensional Link out, but gets read like a book. Double kill for PERDO. 3 for 2 in favor of District 69.
Like a fine wine, this man only gets better with time. PERDO didn't start out too strong, but boy, is he finishing strong as well. Right click to save the day. No, he's going to do it with the aim himself. Rampage for him, even as an alien. gonna do some work. eLvenpath gonna maybe fall Shipa. He's gonna keep everyone alive here. Gerrah, and it looks like bugzy are gonna be enough to push this thing a little farther. There's the Dread Serpent to build the space. Can they get it?
Shell Shield is up, trying to hold NTBees, the sole frontliner, now met with a Dome Shield. There's just so much mitigation, so much shielding to punch through. NTBees falls lower and lower, finally sent to his grave, but Simsiloo's now back. The trickle's starting. PERDO finds the shot. 1-2 punch. D69 find the conversion and go up 3 points to 1.
And like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, he only needed one good punch to finish things off. He's smooth, man, and PERDO, everyone knows it in the scene. And D69 and Burrito, they know it right now. He is the man who is determining what's going on for this squad. But we can't leave everyone out as well, Nick. I mean, this is obviously a group effort, but it really seems to be hinging on how well PERDO does, how much freedom his team gives him.
Yeah. PERDO's task manager says kill everyone. All the other tanks, you know, you're looking at eLvenpath trying to keep him alive. Even bugzy's throwing down some barricades in front of PERDO from time to time, but Fernando probably being the most mobile, able to be the most aggressive out of these 3 tanks in the District 69 lineup is going to be mostly tasked. You can see them kind of sticking together, being that personal bodyguard for PERDO, throwing out Immortals as well, trying to keep people alive. Bomb on the point right now, and just look at all the spread. Look at how aggressive eLvenpath is getting right now. They don't want to let anyone be comfortable and fire away on these 3 tanks.
You know what? That's fantastic dimensional linking by Sleeppyy. I mean, that's the stuff that separates the best Yings. He was so low. PERDO was on his trail, and somehow he gets out of it. PERDO waits by 2 clones, and Sleeppyy conscious enough and well aware enough of where he put the 3rd one to be able to stay there and dimensional link next to his teammates. 48% here for D69, and kowa is trying to make things happen, and it looks like Burrito have found some rhythm.
You know, God bless gerrah. You know, D69 on the back foot right now. Beautiful King Bomb comes in from Burrito, but God bless that guy trying to keep all these tanks, all these hyper-aggressive, confident in themselves players alive right now. Frantic Mending Spirits coming out. There's a law from the backside. It does find one, but Sleeppyy able to trade out with PERDO. Poppy Bomb to try and get himself to safety, but 4 members of District 69 send kowa home.
Grubby Bomb couldn't have gone down, although it almost did. He was killed before then. 84% and 87. You might think eLvenpath with the shield.
Can I get a Jabated in chat? Can I get a fat Jabated? D69, regardless of that fact, do come away with game number 2, despite Deal channeling his NTBees there, throwing eLvenpath off the map. Beautiful stuff, but not enough at the end of the day.
I think Elvin would say, you know, that was on purpose. I just want to make him feel good, going to the next game with a little confidence. I know what I'm doing.
I mean, that could be part of the message he is sending right there. Elvin's not going to, he realizes the game is over. He doesn't care. He is just pedal to the metal. He's going to drive you back into your spawn, no matter how far over the game may feel.
He is the unyielding, Nick, and that means that he is not going to stop. Appropriate. His play is very appropriate of that title. I think it was very, very good selection for him. Bugzy, the bounty hunter on Barrack, getting 2nd most eliminations and very, very high on the damage charts, beating a lot of people there and still doing the shielding as well.
Actually beating Ruckus out. Tough to do.
Really?
eLvenpath, immense amount of shielding, 108K, providing a lot of that, I would imagine, to PERDO, 74,000 damage for the Lex. Interesting composition taken by D69, but this is what I was talking about. You know, it's gonna, a lot of teams are gonna be studying, all right, how do D69 draft around kowa? And they see that and they're like, I don't know if we can pull that off. That is, those guys, they communicate a lot. They've been playing together so long. They know how to defend each other. They know where PERDO is probably gonna be without even having to look around for him. They'll know kind of based on how the fight's going, where he'll probably be positioned, and then they can go over there and help him out, give him some shields, keep him alive. That's not a lot of compositions I don't think a lot of people can pull off.
See, you know, for me, it's more about the fact that they tried to do the right thing, which was to, okay, we'll take a staple pick, but we'll mix things up because you think you have a counter for us. They grabbed the Demolition Bomb King. I thought that was a good choice. It's just that in the actual play, Simsiloo never actually 1v1 or beat PERDO in a fight.
I don't think we saw a big Evil Mojo come out once that game.
Yeah, and there was a lot of other things that went clunk. So it wasn't really that they didn't have a great comp to counter that 3 tank. It just didn't feel like they did the right things in that game.
Sure, and a lot of that is coming off the back of
players
playing around it. You know, resilience is coming out, spreading out. I mean, we saw how far apart everyone in that fight. That's why I blessed gerrah just somehow keeping all that together in the back line with his Mending Spirits. But on to game number 3 here. Burrito will take them in kowa once again. Bomb King and Droxus, the selection here this time for D69.
Really good stuff here for D69. 2 picks that they've done well with. Bugzy's played a lot of Bomb King. PERDO, he is the masterclass kind of quintessential picture of an Androxus. But Burrito now, taking away two big picks here, the Maldamba and the Makoa, and Slashwhine getting on a comfort pick of Shaolin, who was one of the better performers for Burrito.
Absolutely. No Drogos taken thus far. No tank, no healer selected thus far for D69. Still have a lot of room to draft here. Saris
Nice.
Going to be taken. So they'll probably just be going with one frontliner, I would imagine, this time around. Saris much more effective at just kind of pocket healing one guy who's always going to be there, always going to be in line of sight. Torvald makes me kind of think the opposite now.
Exactly.
Well, it's kind of... Torvald's not really a frontliner in the traditional sense. He's probably going to be behind somebody, just field study bubbling them the whole time. Maybe it's going to be a buck. I don't know.
You know, Nick, this is the perfect draft because it's not a perfect draft, it's just a great draft because it's making us ask this question, what do you think it's doing to Burrito? They have no idea what D69
Absolutely.
are about to do. So they're going to pick a Buck and a Ruckus, kind of a safe pick. Buck does well on Serpent Beach. Ruckus,
I think they're trying to take this Buck away from D69. I don't think they want him to have it. They
Yeah.
they see field study, they see pocket healing coming up from Saris, and they say, hell no, we don't want any part of that.
I mean, and this could be really bad, too. You've already got some of the hardest to kill type champions here. Androxus with all his dashes. You got Eevee with so many mobility options and the ice block. But then you've got a Torvald being able to bubble them. You've got a Saris pocket healing them from the entire map away. This could be dangerous stuff here if Burrito don't figure out an answer. Now they will be out, and D69 will move on to the finals. Bounce House Buck for Simsiloo, the Rogue Alchemist there. Flux Generator for Slashwhine. He's going to be on the Ruckus this time. Kowa going to try his hand at the Desert Shadow Shaolin. Pluck for NTBees Makoa, and Ripened Gourd for Sleeppy's Maldamba.
D69 looking for their third and final win here. Reprieve for Shipa's Eevee. Will be Mortal Reach for Gerrah's Saris. Darkstalker for PERDO's Androxus. Field Study for eLvenpath's Torvald, and Accelerant going to be the selection there for Bugzy's Bomb King. 2 records and a Cauterize, a Nimble actually for eLvenpath. I like it. Just Torvald, no mobility skills, so kind of needs something else. Maybe he's running a card as well to give him some speed while he's recharging. You know, you don't want to get caught out as a Torvald.
The cool thing about it, Nick, is, you know, looking at these items, because I do these item highlights, Nimble actually doesn't stack with your other items. So if you have a card that gives you 32% movement speed, he's only going to get that 32% movement speed, and when it drops, he's going to get the 10 from Nimble. So it's not going to give him 42, which a lot of people would think. Bugzy, though, he doesn't need any movement speed because he's in front with those bombs, getting 2 kills on his own. Shipa follows up with a third, and D69, don't care how fast they're moving, they're not going anywhere away from the point.
Landing shot after shot. Field Study supplementing this damage immensely. Stunned out, but not enough follow-up damage there. PERDO drives home the final kill onto Sleeppyy. And this District 69 comp is so good at dive. This is basically a dive comp draft. You've got Androxus, you've got Eevee, you've got Bomb King with his Accelerant. That is 3 guys that are coming, hitting you hard in the face. They've got Saris pocket healing anyone you're going to focus. They've got Torvald not only to provide peel, but damage amplification as well. One hard-hitting team fight win, and D69 come away with the first payload. Running just immensely different comps in all 3 of these games.
Now, Shaolin, a fantastic pick on this map, but also has some, you know, if the fight isn't being favorable to him, he can be very, very at a big disadvantage in terms of running away. Androxus and Buck and players like Eevee and Bomb King have the opportunity to get to the upper levels of these types of rooms right here and go to the bottom level just as instantly as that. Shaolin's got to pick a height that he wants to fight from and fight there and defend his territory, and that sometimes leaves him with no way to escape.
Great high ground control from all these characters from D69 that are going to be looking to do damage. Bomb King, Eevee, and Androxus can all get up there. Buck's the only one from Burrito. And we talked about how D69 might have been looking for a Buck here. They might not have been. Burrito taking this away kind of gambles on the fact that they were. And you got to ask yourself the question, you know, is taking this away from D69 valuable enough? Does this work well enough with what we were trying to do up until this point?
Yeah.
These questions going to be answered here in game number 3, and right now, doesn't look like anything's really paying off for Burrito as they are getting rolled on.
In the back line here, Shipa's going to go in with a great Ice Storm, try to find one, but PERDO and Bugzy are too quick with the trigger to finish them off. 2, 3 actually for the Godslayer, and PERDO will continue his winning ways, finishing the entire team of Burrito off as 5 members are dead.
I love seeing Shipa's Eevee. It's been so long,
Yeah.
I feel like, since I've gotten, you know, he was back up there with Lazy back in the day when
Yeah.
those 2 were just bread and butter Eevee players. And now it's cool to see him back there running Reprieve this time. Bugzy was the one that, after the legendaries came out, that's when we kind of saw Eevee kind of take her step out. But Shipa back on it with Reprieve. Bugzy, I think, was one of the first that I noticed anyway, bringing that Reprieve playstyle back into competitive. And now Shipa looks like he picked it up as well. Couple of items coming out here for D69. Record 2, Cauterize 2 for PERDO. No level 2 offensive items for Burrito. That was a very quick round. You can see Slashwhine just under 200 credits off the mark. Kowa just under 100 credits off the mark of his level 2 record. Some master ridings here just to get out of the gate. Just try to counter some of this immense aggression that we saw in the previous round from D69.
You know, one of the interesting things too is gerrah taking the record 2. Not usually a confirmed best pick for Saris, but what he's trying to do is just make sure that that shield dies as fast as possible. He's not going to be peppering the shield very much. It only hits for 400, so the scaling isn't great, but he will be able to contribute to that fight. A great heal there as the Dread Serpent comes onto bugzy. gerrah, what a heads-up play to keep his teammate alive.
Nice shots coming out as well. A little bit zoned here. Not much ammo left in the clip. Missing shots as well. Looks like bugzy might lose this one. Poppy Bomb buys the time, but Simsiloo sneaks his way back in, finds the angle onto bugzy. Now with the comeback mechanic, Burrito are quickly capturing this point. That is important.
Solran's going to do some damage to all of them, but they'll probably heal that back up in a second. They've got the Maldama Gourd and the Mini Spirit. Oh, great stun there. Sleeppyy almost taken down Shipa by himself. This could be Torvald's time to shine. There's the Ancient Rage. He's not immune anymore.
Looking for it. It could still knock him away, swinging wildly with this anchor. eLvenpath with plenty of health yet doesn't really feel the pressure to pop this ultimate just yet. He is continuing to sit on it, falling lower and lower. Shellspin will heal him up for the time being. NTBees narrowly escapes with his life. Simsiloo rotates into the fight, finds eLvenpath, and this is a all-out brawl on the point. Convergence from gerrah is going to pull people in from Burrito here. NTBees has to rotate back in.
And that was huge there. Bugzy and Shipa, 2 of the hardest hitting champions in Paladins, take their chance at 2 stun members and finish them off thanks to the Saris convergence. There's an Ice Storm for the BM just to keep him there after he was stunned. 99% for Burrito, but it looks like these 69 have taken control at this point.
Bugzy punches a full 6-bomb clip onto that Ruckus and just deletes him from existence. 99% for Burrito, trying desperately to get back in here, but this is the moment where they have to take a small breath, collect themselves as much as possible, and mobilize as together as a unit as they possibly can. 90% for D69 trying to close out this round.
What a wasted Dread Serpent there by Sleeppyy, just reaching, grasping for something tangible, but can't yet find it. Grasping air is all that he came up with, and with 2 minutes 24 seconds of point capture for D69 and bugzy on a 6 streak, things are looking incredible for the champions of the Paladins Invitational, and the being able to just continue this winning streak, man. Bugzy is feeling very good on this Heather Blaster.
Hyper Beam did come out there to help secure that payload. Bugzy waiting in the wings. Just found beautiful angles on the now retreated, now hyper beamed Burrito as they flew away from the payload to just drive them all home while they were frazzled and dazzled. 2 minutes remain here to find this payload push in. 6 streak, 8 streak for Shipa there. All kinds of streaks going for D69 right now as they continue to hold Burrito in their spot. No answer from the boys in blue.
Now, this is not the team that you're familiar with seeing wearing the name of Burrito, but it's great to see this organization back in Paladins. Right now, they're fighting for their lives, and they are being definitely given a run for their money because D69 just are not relenting to this pressure, and with 1 minute and 24 seconds left, it looked like they could close this thing out right here. Slashwhine, though, doing a good job of holding them back, taking down eLvenpath and bugzy.
Burrito starting to gain some steam now, forcing D69 back. Double kill for Kowa. That's probably going to be the end of this fight, but the way D69 play, they play the game as a round as a whole, not really so much fight to fight where they're just all in, trying to win this fight. We got to win this fight. They're already looking ahead 2 fights, 3 fights from now, and they always just have an ultimate to really swing the momentum in their way, just slowly just keeping throwing it in the bucket. Another ultimate. Keep this one up. Cursed Arm this time. Ping Bomb this time. Hyper Beam this fight. Convergence this fight. Ice Storm to lock down this fight. They are playing as a fluid round here. Heat Haze is going to be popped here. Burrito have 2 ultimates of their own to try and stabilize this fight. There comes the convergence. 2 people actually going to be pulled in by that one. Kowa does have a good angle here. Let's see if he can drive it home.
Kowa definitely looking to take down a few people here. He's done his job quite well. And if he could finish off, I'd say the Eevee or the Bomb King, they'd be in business. 25 seconds left, though. And Kowa He's true to his word, and he finishes him off. Now Shipa trying to find him. Desert Shadow's going to mean that he cannot be found for an extra 5 seconds, and that could be huge.
15 remain here. PERDO now returning to the fight. He's going to be hooked out, though. A lot of damage coming through, but a Torvald bubble
Big time.
will bail him out for the time being. 7 seconds. Going to go into overtime here. Simsiloo drops. Not exactly what you want to see happen right before you head into overtime.
Ruckus is in trouble here. This is not good for Slashwhine. He gets stunned by the Grumpy Bomb, although the reload comes through with bugzy, and he hits one pillar instead of the Ruckus. He's going to take him down now. Here's the King Bomb. This should finish it off. They know they just need to get NTBees out of here because they've got 2 tanks down, and now it's only Squishies. And with the Grumpy Bomb pressure, it looks like almost an impossible task for Burrito to defend.
PERDO rotating back in is going to swing this fight heavily with his accursed arm available, no less. Looking for the shots here on Buck. Simsiloo actually buying an immense amount of time, distracting some of these backliners from D69, but they quickly snap out of it, so move on to the backline, clean up a healer as well. Simsiloo now the only one left. His distraction value has run out. One more tank to go. If D69 find this turtle, they will find the triple kill. They will find the conversion, the game, and the series.
PERDO with some excellent play at the end of that one. And just again, all of D69 showing with the 3-0 sweep against Burrito, were formerly Wolves last week, how excellent they still are playing. It's really going to be up to the competition to match their level. They don't seem to be dropping whatsoever.
Incredible damage numbers, almost tied exactly here. Bugzy and PERDO, 79,266 for the Bomb King, 79,205 for the Androx. So a mere 61 damage separating those. Wow. I don't even know how you math that one out.
That's communication right there. You're going to need to shoot one more time.
That's real good team synergy there, Bill.
Just shoot one more time, man. Shoot one more time.
Keep it together.
You know, they're doing everything
Nobody
together.
shines bright. We all shine
Nobody
together.
shines bright. Nobody won that game. Nobody got a triple kill. We all got a triple kill, okay? We all got a triple kill. And, you know, I love that philosophy by D69. Taking a look at the bracket to see where we'll be going next. It is D69 who have made their way to the finals, and now 50 Shades of Snake. They're going to have to go against WASD Sports, which a great team, definitely a challenger in this type of scenario against 50 Shades of Snake, who have proven themselves quite a bit, but nothing to scoff at.
I'm excited, you know, picking up Modestina as well after the Masters land. WSD have become that much stronger. 50 Shades of Snake playing with a couple of roster changes here, sponsor changes. You know, how calm, cool, and collected can they be moving into this matchup? And guys, remember, if you say Modestina's name 3 times in the mirror, he will flick shot you into the Shadow Realm, so be safe.
Oh boy, I didn't hear that one, but that's beautiful. Don't say Modestina 3 times in a row, guys. And also, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the semifinals. 50 Shades of Snake versus WASD Sports coming up just a sec.